You think you know what a lie is. A thing you do to someone else. A choice. A small, deliberate act, carried out with a faint, familiar twinge of guilt. And your own mind you think of as the one place you cannot be fooled. Your thoughts, your reasons, your motives. All of it laid out plainly, for you and only you to see. Both of those are wrong. The most accomplished liar you will ever meet lives behind your eyes, works around the clock, and never takes a day off. And its finest work, its most constant, most polished work, is not done on other people. It is done on you. You are not the one being told the truth. You are the one being managed. This is self-deception. And here is the first thing that turns it from a weakness into something stranger. It is not a glitch in an otherwise honest machine. It is not you failing to see straight. It is a feature, built in, on purpose. And the strangest part of all, this constant lie you tell yourself may be the very thing that made us such gifted social animals. We bury the truth from our own minds so that we can broadcast a cleaner lie to everyone else. So picture your mind not as a single person, but as a government. Somewhere deep inside, the real decisions get made, in rooms you are never shown, and the conscious you, the voice in your head, the one you call yourself, is not the president. You are the press secretary, sent out to face the cameras with a story you did not write. And a good press secretary has one job: not to know the truth, to sell the line, to stand at the podium and deliver it with total conviction, which is exactly what you do every waking hour of your life. And the genius of the arrangement is this: the press secretary cannot leak what the press secretary was never told. The truth is kept one floor down, below the room where the talking happens. And that is why it works so terrifyingly well. You are not lying when you speak. You believe every word. The sincerity is real, because the liar and the lied to have been carefully kept apart. Now you are already objecting. Not me. I know my own mind. I would catch it. Hold that thought gently, because in the next few minutes I am going to show you the machine running, not in someone else, in you, in moves you have made 1,000 times today and never once noticed. So let us run the machine and watch. And we will start with the simplest test there is. Are you an above-average driver? Better than most at your work? Kinder than the average person? Better than most at reading people? Ask any room these questions, and almost every hand goes up. Ask them, are you more honest than average? And most say yes. Half of them must be wrong. And not one of them feels wrong. Nearly everyone believes they are in the better half. It cannot be true. By definition, half of us are below the line. But the mind has quietly moved you, every time, to the flattering side of it. Now watch how you keep score. Watch what you do with a win and with a loss. The promotion was your talent, your grind, your brilliance. The rejection was bad timing. Office politics, a biased judge, a world that did not get you. The win, I did that. The loss, that happened to me. Your successes, you own. Your failures, you rent to someone else. And the ledger, always, quietly, balances in your favor. Now the sly one, the one you will fight me on, the hardest. You feel like a scientist, following the evidence wherever it leads. You are not. You are a lawyer, handed a client you already chose, and sent out to build the case. And here is the tell you can catch in yourself tonight. When you like a conclusion, you ask, "Can I believe this?" And one weak reason is enough. When you hate it, you ask, "Must I believe this?" And no proof is ever quite enough. Two different bars, and you never feel yourself switching them. And now, the deepest cut of all. For this, we go to a divided brain. In certain patients, the bridge between the two halves was cut, and suddenly you could speak to one half without the other ever knowing. So the scientists flashed an instruction to the silent half. One word, walk, and the person stood up and walked. Then they asked the speaking half, the half that talks, "Why did you just get up?" Now the speaking half had no idea. It never saw the word. It could have said, "I don't know." It did not. Instantly, smoothly, with total confidence, it said, "I'm going to get a drink." And it believed it. It made up a reason for a decision it never made. And that is not a rare, broken patient. That is you. All day, your choices bubble up from rooms you cannot see, and the press secretary receives them, already made, and issues a reason. Smooth, confident, and often completely invented. So the self you defend so certainly is not a witness to your life. It is the spokesperson. A story written after the fact by a department whose job was never accuracy. You have been reading your own press releases and calling it self-knowledge. So now, the question that changes everything. If self-deception cuts you off from the truth, why on earth would evolution build it in? Why would a mind that must survive a real and dangerous world choose to blind itself? And the answer is not about the world. It is about each other. We are the most social animal that has ever lived. And in that world, one skill matters above almost all. The ability to influence another mind. And that means deception. Selling a version of yourself, braver, kinder, more certain than the truth. But lying is hard. To lie well, you must hold two things at once: the truth and the cover story, and police every crack between them. And the body betrays you. The flicker in the eye, the half-second pause, the bead of sweat, the voice that climbs. Because other minds evolved too, evolved to read you, to catch exactly these leaks. For every liar, a lie detector grew to meet him, and so nature found a breathtaking solution, elegant and chilling. The best way to hide a lie from others is to hide it first from yourself. Because if you do not know you are lying, there is no tell to leak, no guilt to suppress, no cover story to guard, no crack for another mind to find. The most convincing liar in the world is the one who believes his own lie. So the mind learned to bury the inconvenient truth, one floor down, below the speaker, so that the speaker, the press secretary, the conscious you, can step to the podium and be genuinely sincere. The lie is safest when the liar is honest. And this flips the whole picture. We tell ourselves self-deception is a comfort, a soft thing, a way to feel better. But at its root, it is not defensive. It is a weapon, not built to soothe you, built to help you win against other people. And you can see the payoff everywhere you look. Start with the simplest currency of all, confidence. Two people say the same thing. One hesitates, hedges, admits the doubt. The other says it as though the sun rises on it. Who do you believe? We follow certainty, not accuracy, certainty. And studies bear it out, again and again. The overconfident are judged more competent. They rise in status. They are chosen as leaders, even when they are no better than anyone else. And here is why the self-deception matters. You cannot fake this for long. Manufactured confidence leaks like any other lie. But the one who truly believes he is exceptional radiates it without a crack. His delusion is not his weakness, it is his advantage, and it runs through everything. The one who believes she will win takes the risk the realist never dares. The lover who believes he is worthy draws people the honest man cannot. The founder who cannot see the odds builds the thing the clear-eyed knew was impossible. So a little honest delusion does not just feel good, it pays. In status, in courage, in the bluff that wins the hand. This is self-deception as an advantage, the comfortable lie that quietly gets you ahead. Now I have to be honest with you, in an episode about honesty. This is not a settled law. Some researchers push back. The overconfident also crash spectacularly. Bet too big, ignore the warning, walk off the cliff they refuse to see. So the truth is a balance on a knife. Enough self-belief to act, to dare, to lead, but not so much that you lose the world entirely. Evolution did not build you to be right. It built you to win. And those are not always the same thing. So how does the mind actually do it? How does it hide the truth from itself and keep the story clean? It is not one trick. It is a whole department of them, working together, quietly, building the exhibit you call your life. The first tool is where you look. Attention is a spotlight, and yours has learned where not to point. Away from the bank balance, away from the symptom, away from the friend who has gone quiet. You do not decide to ignore it. You simply never quite look. And what you never look at never quite exists. The second tool is memory, and this one should frighten you the most, because you trust your memory. You should not. It is not a recording, it is a press office. Every time you recall a thing, you rewrite it, a little kinder to you, a little crueler to them, the argument where you were cold. You remember as the day you were wronged, the chance you let fear talk you out of. You remember as a wise and careful choice. The shame gets sanded off. The story that survives is the one you can live with. The third tool is the reason, and it always arrives right on time. You do the thing you wanted, snap at someone, buy the thing you could not afford, and instantly the mind hands up a noble reason. I was tired. They deserved it. I earned it. The act comes first. The justification is stitched on after, perfectly to fit. And the fourth is the quietest and the most dangerous, the line that moves. Every small self-serving edit you let yourself make lowers the bar for the next. The first cut corner is agony. The 10th is invisible. Each lie to yourself makes the next one feel like nothing at all. And do not think all this burying comes free. Holding the truth down takes work, a hidden effort that runs under everything, a quiet tax, paid in tension, in stress, in the sense that something is wrong, that you cannot quite name. The buried truth does not rest. It pushes back. Now here is the turn that makes this more than a curiosity. Because every weapon points two ways, the same shield that helps you win the other mines also cuts you off from the one thing you need to survive, the truth. And when the stakes climb high enough, that blindness turns deadly. The founder who cannot see the business is already dead, who reads every red number as almost turning the corner, until the day there is nothing left to save. The clarity that could have saved him was the one thing his confidence could not afford to let him see, the affair the whole room could see. except the two people closest to it, the one betraying and the one betrayed, both refusing to know what some deeper flaw already knew, because knowing would cost too much. So the mind simply declines to look and raise it to the scale of nations, the leader who starts by lying to the crowd and ends by believing himself, who fills the map with armies that are not there, who marches a nation into ruin because he has deceived the one man he could never afford to fool, himself. The researcher who named all this pointed at the wreckage, at planes that fell from clear skies, where a captain could not bring himself to say the one true thing. We are too low. We are almost out. The admission was unbearable, so it went unsaid, until the ground. And the most dangerous form is the one we build together. A whole market that knows it is a bubble and keeps buying. A whole institution that agrees quietly not to see, where every single person is privately unsure and publicly certain, and no one says the word that would break the spell. And here is the cruelest part of it. The better your self-deception works, the less you can feel it working. It hides its own tracks. A lie you could sense would fail, so the ones that survive feel exactly like truth. The sincerity you feel is not proof you are honest. It is the symptom. Now, before the turn, I owe you the other half. Because it would be its own kind of lie to leave you thinking this is all a con. Some of the truth you bury for love, and it is the better for it. Look at the people who love well, and for a long time, they do not see each other clearly. They see each other a little too kindly, more patient, more gifted, more beautiful than the plain facts allow. And the studies found something tender. The couples who hold these gentle illusions are the ones who last, who are happier, because the flattering picture is not just a lie, it is an invitation. People grow to meet the person they are believed to be, and it is the same with hope. The honest odds of most great things are grim. Most books go unread, most ventures fail, most dreams do not arrive. See that too clearly, and you never begin. A little blindness to the odds is what lets a human being try at all. And every morning you rise on a small, unprovable faith that today will matter, that you are becoming, that the people you love will stay. None of it is guaranteed. Some of it the evidence quietly argues against. And strip it all away, and you do not get freedom. You get the grey, flat, accurate world of the person who has stopped hoping. So the picture is not a villain. It is a strange, double-edged gift. The very same faculty that walks a nation to war is the one that lets you love past the flaws, rise past the odds, and keep getting up. You cannot simply cut it out. It is woven into the will to live. So you may be thinking, fine. Now that I know, I will simply be honest with myself. I will catch it. And here is the trap inside the trap. Who exactly is going to do the catching? The one who checks for the lie is the press secretary. The mechanism that would catch it sits downstream of the mechanism that told it. You cannot introspect your way out, because introspection is exactly the room that has been captured. So hear this, as plainly as it can be said. You cannot catch yourself lying to yourself, because the part of you that would catch it is the part that is doing the lying. And that clean feeling, I am being honest with myself right now, is not evidence. It is the product, the exact feeling the machine was built to deliver. The sincerity is not the way out. It is the lock on the door. So we do not get to win this head on. You will never become a perfect truth machine, and you would not want to. The goal is humbler, and far more useful. Not to purge it, but to root around it, where it is dangerous, with tools that do not live inside your own head. First, trust the record over the feeling. Your memory will lie for you, so write things down before you know how they turn out. What you predicted, what you promised, what actually happened. A page cannot be quietly re-edited to flatter you. A memory already has been. Second, borrow other eyes. You cannot see your own blind spot. That is what makes it a blind spot. So keep the one friend who tells you the unflattering thing, and notice your quiet urge to keep them at a distance. To prefer the ones who only agree, that urge is the tell. The truth-teller feels like an enemy precisely when you need them most. And third, the sharpest tool of all. Learn to read your own heat. The subject you cannot discuss calmly. The criticism that makes you flare. The question you keep steering away from. That heat is smoke. And smoke rises from exactly the spot where something is buried. Where you least want to look is the map to what you are hiding. Follow the heat down, and you will find the truth the press secretary worked so hard to keep off the podium. You came here believing the one person you could never fool was yourself. Leave knowing they are the one person you fool the most. Every hour, on purpose, and call it simply being you. So the most honest thing a person can ever say is not, "I have stopped lying to myself." It is the harder thing, to assume right now, quietly, that I have not. See what people hide, even from themselves.